Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to today's episode of Viewpoint. We are thrilled to have you join us, and you already know. Talk show where they talk up as EB. On today's edition, we will be talking about up-to-the-minute trends and developments. Throughout the show, we will dive into the topics that range from politics, current events, social issues, health, lifestyle, and so much more. You know how we do it, whether you're watching us from home or you are on the go. Just sit back and relax as we delve into these stimulating conversations. I am Hadiza Galadima, and joining me on the show is Confidence and Shamsuddin. As usual, my co-hosts will share their unique perspectives and engage in a spirited conversation that will shed more light on some of these most complex problems in our world. Without further ado, let's get started. In the words of Groucho Marx, be open-minded, but not so open-minded that your brains fall out. We will be talking about the FCT's minister's comment on Peter Obi's being a social media issue. We'll also be talking about veteran actor Patrick Doyle's statement regarding Burna Boy, saying he should be humble and respectful to his predecessors. Later on the show, we will be talking about the importance of personal and work-life balancing. All this and more after the break.
Experience the acceleration of Oweleketv. Get the latest news from the glitz and glamour of the entertainment industry to the pulse-pounding realm of sports. We provide accurate and up-to-date information, exclusive interviews with top political analysts that will leave you craving more. Our team of professionals delivers captivating content from Nigeria and beyond. Follow us on our social media handles at Oweleketv. Visit our website at www.oweleketv for a thrilling journey. Oweleketv, rising star at the fairground.
Welcome back. This is Viewpoint, talk show where they talk as EB. The Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Oweleketv, has said that the flag bearer and the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, if he was a better candidate, Nigerians would have elected him in February 25th, 2023 presidential election. The ex-governor of Rivers State, who spoke exclusively on Channels Television's Politics Today program, was asked if Obi would have handled the issues confronting the Nigerian economy better than Tinubu if he had been elected. Wike said he doesn't discuss presidential candidates anymore. Quote unquote, I don't want to discuss social media issues. I don't discuss about presidential candidates anymore. I discuss about the economy. So that would you agree with Wike? And what's your thoughts as regards him tagging? Because like most Nigerians feel he tagged Peter Obi as a social media issue. What's your take?
Now, talking about this particular issue, for me, he maybe tagging Peter Obi as a social media issue is a no-no for me. There are better ways of communicating your thoughts, and I think as public officers, there is a way and manner in which, even if you're not in agreement with some person's ideology or policies, there are better ways of saying it. And moreover, they are all politicians. Tomorrow they can also be on the same camp. So you cannot ridicule me today and tomorrow you said, okay, let's be friends and we'll help each other and so life continues. Some of these tapes will still be online for quite a very long time. And social media is not just social media. Social media is a powerful tool of which Nigerians, especially young people, use to communicate. And you could see that with how the Twitter issue happened during the time of President Buhari, how the Nigerians didn't know the power of Twitter until it was brought down. So a lot of people have their life and everything live on social media. So you don't just come and trivialize social media as maybe is something that is just mere noise and something that is not good enough. have. But in terms of, for me, I believe politics it's over. So now instead of possibly looking at some of these issues, I think we need to start discussing how far we can go as a nation in terms of, okay, what exactly is on ground now? What is our issues? And how far can we solve it better? Which he said at the later part of the conversation. But the main crux of the matter is as regards the tag social media issues. For me, it's a no for me.
My sister. Okay, it's a personal thing for me. I don't like Wike he's lousy. I'm sorry I had to use this particular word. Sometimes I feel like he doesn't know how to talk. And like Shamsuddin said, you hold a public office, you're elected, you're representing a people. Do you understand? So how you talk, how you put out your points, it's like a reflection of the people you're ruling. You understand? I don't think it was necessary for him to have used that tag, social media issues, because Obi is not a social media issue. Do you understand? All of them that were candidates, that were campaigning then, they still use this same social media to, do their campaigns and everything. So tagging someone as a social media issue, I like how Shamsuddin put it. He said, every one of them are politicians, and people, if you don't agree with somebody, does not mean that you should talk the person down, because you're a rival today. You could be friends or people that come together tomorrow. So I don't think it was necessary. And like I said when I said it, I said sometimes your son Wike doesn't know how to talk. Would he work? He will work. But when it comes to communicating, when it comes to responding, his manner of approach can be annoying and downright condescending. So I don't think there was really a necessity tag. He would have just said, I don't talk about presidential candidates. Like he said, we've gone past that. I mean, the year is almost coming to an end. Are we still talking about presidential election and what happened in February 25th? It's history. Do you understand? That I get. But tagging him as a social media, and let me tell you something. It might not be a serious issue. Do you understand? Because most of the things that have been happening, let's be honest, it has been happening on social media. We see some of these tweets, some of these informations on social media. To some people, it's nothing, but it's Wike. So I mean, whatever Wike does in the eyes of some people is wrong. So for me, I don't think it was necessary.
But you have yours out there. What's your take as regards what we just discussed? Is it right? Is it just right for you to call someone, like someone who puts out his effort, someone who is trying to show Nigerians that I am with you, I feel your pain and all that, on social media trying to reach out to thousands and millions of people? Do you think he's a social media issue? Let's get your thoughts. Let's have your thoughts in our comment sections, all right? Let's go on a short break. We'll be right back. Please stay with us. Welcome back, and thanks for staying with us. Our next topic, we will be talking about Patrick Doe's criticism of Burna Boy. He says he is undeserving of being labeled great. The veteran actor says Burna Boy has done nothing by himself that can remotely describe him as great. This is coming few days after the singer accused Nigerians of not valuing him nor knowing his worth. However, in a post via his Facebook page, Patrick Doe said Burna Boy and his colleagues should ascribe the credit for their fate to great musicians who paved the way for them, saying they need to be respectful of their diligent and truly pioneering predecessors, like the likes of Sonia Day, King Sonia Day, Fela Anikulapo Kuti, Paul Ike Dairo, amongst others. Okay, before I hear your thoughts, there has been a video where Burna Boy said Afrobeat, not just Nigerian music as a whole, but Afrobeat lacks substance, and it doesn't really have merit because most of the people, let's talk about it. Let's talk about the real truth. Let's listen to our Afrobeats. We know what we hear.
With the drum beats.
We know what we hear, right?
Yeah.
So, and most times again, like Fela, I would say Burna Boy has, with over time, he always acknowledges
Pays his
respect. And I heard that his mom was one of like the backup singer, be the dancers to Fela and all that. So he has come along that line for a very long time and all that. So I think Nigerians are just angry at the fact that he's saying that Afrobeat lacks substance and all that. And Patrick Doyle is saying, okay, if you're saying this kind of things, what about your predecessors from the back? Are you trying to say they made whack music and all that? So confidence, let's hear your thoughts.
I think for me personally, we all know that Burna Boy has character issues. He has attitude problems. It's not the first time I've seen videos, where he bashes people who come to watch his shows. He talks to them rudely. He's condescending. He's a whole lot of things, and truth be told, let's just be honest. You said it. Sometimes most of what we put out there as, our Afrobeats are just empty. That's the truth. A lot of people, know how to make the beat drops, you can groove to it. But when you listen to the music, when you listen to the word, the penmanship is trash. Let's just be honest. So I don't think what Burna Boy said is a lie in some sense, But, for people to be coming at him, I feel that this is just a clear case of Nigerians having an issue with Burna Boy. You understand? Some people like him, but some people don't like him because of that, that character thing about him. Burna has personality issues. He's rude, like I said. He's stubborn. The way he talks, he doesn't know how to talk. When Burna wants to give you, he'll give you. So I feel like this is just one of the cases of him just coming out, saying it as it is. Because sometimes we as people, we as Nigerians, we don't like the truth, but it's the truth. If you actually listen to some of the things we call music, nothing there. Do you understand? So if it was somebody else right now, like the heartthrob of Nigerians, although I don't think Nigerians have heartthrob. If you're good today, they follow you. Do one thing, you understand? But if it was somebody else that said it, probably they would react like this. But because it's Burna, and you know that Burna has issues. So I don't think he was wrong in some sense. Patrick Doyle coming out to say that he's not paying respect. I don't know where to categorize Patrick Doyle, because most of these people have also paid their respect, have also acknowledged the fact that without people like Fela, without people like King Sunny Ade, I don't think that we in this generation will know who they are. So I just think it's just a clear case of Nigerians having issues with Burna Boy, really.
Okay, so on my own thoughts, I think they belong to two different generations. So Patrick Doyle is, that's the more reason why you could see while he was making his references, he wasn't making references to maybe the new cats or the Kiss Daniel of today. So he actually made reference to people he felt they had content and people he felt, okay, that's it. And the reasons why he's saying this is because the kind of genre of music that Burna Boy sings is in that line. So, and it's more about the content, the Afrocentric movies, music that promotes the African culture and all that. So, and since he has already said that, one thing that you have to be very careful, like we talked about Wiki earlier, is the kind of comments you make. There are some systems that actually makes you. So when you go through that system, so people feel that even if you are within a particular system, you shouldn't condemn it, even if you know that it is wrong or something like that. They will tell you and remind you that you also rolled on that particular ladder to get to the top. So why would you tell us not to also do this on our own part? So, and I think there are three things here. One is the content of the music itself. There are people who subscribe to the content irrespective of how you say it. Once it's actually meaningful, they actually go by it. So there are people like that. There are people that they don't even care about what you're singing. In as much as it's just groovy. It's grooving. Everybody wants to dance at it and nobody cares about what you are even saying. Just that. And there are people that even look at even the content.
The nitty-gritty.
Yes, the nitty-gritty of it. They look at how you shot the movie, the music, the content of it, the kind of scenes you watch. So it's actually for different audiences and all that. So it's a case of different strokes for different folks. So, but on a general note, I think, like I said earlier, it's for Patrick Doyle to make the statement. He's looking at it from the lens of two generations. So for respect, I think quite a number of times there have been a lot of them who have actually made reference to the people who have actually been in the industry. And most recently, we had a controversial issues whereby some people, I think it was an actress that came out to say, okay, the Yoruba music, the Yoruba movie industry, they are the ones that are established Nollywood. So some people said, okay, it is the living in bondage of the 1991 that started the Nollywood industry. I think one thing that we need to understand and take away from all this is the fact that documentation is very important and history is very important, because if you don't know where you are coming from, you might not be able to plan what the future looks like. So, and that's why either the music, the movie industry and all that, there is a need for documentation to actually give respect to who, even if you now do things better. At that time, that was the best thing. They felt, okay, we can actually make do with this. So, but as technology continued to advance and a lot of things continued to, people started using cameras, people started using lots of things, and at the tail end of it, they now know that, okay, this thing is more advanced. We can now go to the cinema. We can now use a video on demand to actually push our So a lot of things has actually changed. But in the process, you also acknowledge the fact that, okay, some people started this. And that's more reason why we felt, okay, this thing is lucrative. Let's also choke our own head into it. And I think those are my thoughts.
Okay, so quickly before we go on a short break, is it wrong to be boastful of your achievements? Is it wrong to be boastful?
Now it depends on the context and the audience you are talking to. So if you are talking to people who are way lower than you, and you want to inspire them, you can say, okay, fine, I also came from the slum, but with this is what I've been able to achieve. It makes sense. It serves as inspiration. Then you can also be talking to people who are way lower than you, but maybe your contemporaries. The moment you say it, and there's this thing about possibly envy or jealousy that I feel like, okay, this guy wants to show himself, say, I know. So that's one. So for me, it's about a different folks for different folks, different strokes for different folks. You have to gauge your audience, gauge people you are talking to, and all that. But one thing is, the fact remains the same. Nobody can change what you've achieved in life and all that. Even when people don't say it, there are things that, okay, it's there. When you get to a certain place or you get to a certain distance,
to speak for itself.
Yes, it will speak for itself. People will start making references to it. Now we had a situation, I think just recently, the German government repatriated some artwork that they took away from Benin, back to Nigeria. Now they knew that even when they said, okay, fine, Africa, we don't have history and all that. Years later, now they are now bringing it back, and they are now. So it means that we already have it. We have our own culture. We have our own history. So irrespective of whether, no matter how people try to dissociate you from your success, over time, either you are alive or you're no more alive, it will surely speak.
I think for me, it's not wrong, but it depends. There's an intrinsic pride that comes with success. So I think people have to just be careful, because Shamsi said something. It's a two-way thing. If you're talking to people that are way lower than you, there's a way you put it. And then there are people that, you had to literally ride on their backs to get to where you are. So I wouldn't, when you put it that way, it's dicey, but one has to be careful. It's not wrong to praise yourself, if I could use that word. It's not wrong to be happy with what you've achieved. It's your success. You worked for it. You did not do ritual. You put in the work, you put in the sweat, you burn the candle. So it's your success, but one has to be careful. Like I said, I think it's something that a lot of people don't know. It just happens. But you need to check yourself, every time. There's an intrinsic pride. And you start thinking that other people are not serious just because you've attained a particular level. Once you get that thing you're looking for, it happens. You see that pride, it begins to show. That's why you see people that have been poor, they've grown with their friends and everything, and suddenly they make it big, and then they begin to look down on their peers, and their peers are like, what did I do to deserve this kind of disrespect? And the person cannot exactly lay hands on his success has pride that it comes with. So no, it's not wrong, but I think boastful is not the word. It's okay to be happy with your achievement, but when boasting comes in, I think that's where the problem is. I think it's a case of be careful.
Like once it's in you, and no one can take it away from you. Let's go on a short break. We'll be right back. Please stay with us. Welcome back. Moving on to our last topic, we will be talking about the importance of maintaining a balance between personal and work life. It is crucial to lead a healthy and satisfying life. It is very, very essential to remember that both aspects of lives are interconnected and can have a significant impact on one another or each other. Therefore, neglecting one for the other can lead to diminished well-being, increased stress, and negatively impact both areas of life. So what are the consequences of neglecting balanced life or work balance and personal life?
Well, when it comes to, I think this is something that's not talked about a lot, balancing your work life and your personal life. Work is work. Your personal life is your personal life. I'm going to use this example. Growing up, my mom always told us, stories about how, she and my dad, when they got married and everything, that my dad that we're seeing today is not how he was when she married him and everything. My dad's a lawyer, so she used to tell us that most times when he comes home from work, they are talking or maybe they have an altercation, he starts to bring in that, we start to see the lawyer. At some point, she was like, you see what happens, you see what's going to happen is this. When you park your car, drop the lawyer in the car. When you come upstairs, you're my husband and you're the father of your children. Don't bring law into this house. So that's just like a graphic, example of how sometimes people is interconnected, but it's separate. So sometimes people it spills into one another. And I think it's not meant to be like that. It's like you're living, it's not even like, it's what happens. You're living two different people every single day, be it your 9 to 5, be it business, whatever you're doing, you're living two different people. So there's Hadiza at work and there's Hadiza at home. So Hadiza at home is not supposed to show up at work. And Hadiza at work is not supposed to show up at home. This is something that has actually, broken a lot of relationships, a lot of friendships, where you see people not knowing how to, alternate or balance their work life with their personal life. You see somebody, okay, like let's, for example, in a relationship or in a marriage where, the wife is supposed to have left everything at work. It's not like there are no, worst case scenarios, or there are no different scenarios where maybe you go home and because of the kind of work you do, it spills over. Like, oh, I have to do this, I have to type this. But there's just that balance, you understand? When you're supposed to be spending time with your partner, you see, the guy or the lady, you're still working in that little alone time. And it causes a lot of issues. Some people will tell you it's village people. It's not village people. These are little things that cause issues in our lives. Yeah. So I think it's very crucial to balance your work life. When you're at work, you're at work. I had a friend, it was always an issue. She would say, when you come to my house, we are talking work. We worried a lot. And, at some point I sat down, I was like, it's true. Whenever we had to gist office, whenever we had to talk, and she had to come with mother, she was like, no be so that they do things so. Work is work. When you're at work, you're at work. Endeavor to put it within that enclave. When you're at home, you're at home. And this is not just about family and friends. This is about even you as a person. When you have finished from the office or you're finished from work, please, it's like draw a line for yourself too. Your personal life is your personal life. When you're done with work, push it aside. Make time for yourself, for your personal life. Don't be bringing work. Don't let it spill over. It's in the spilling over that it causes a lot of problems. You see people have issues in their homes and they bring you to work with them. I don't know if you've heard of, bosses and colleagues that, fight. And then at the end of the day, I'm so sorry. I had a quarrel with my wife. I had a quarrel with my husband. So, they transfer that aggression. And let me tell you something. It affects the workplace. It happened in school. Most of the times we come to school and then my lecturers would just be upset for nothing. And it was so bad that we the students, we knew that,
something has happened.
Something has happened. His wife, and at some point when we were getting into the lecture proper, he would start putting it out that, don't annoy me. I was already annoyed from home. So, it's not supposed to be like that. So I think it's, like I said, it's when it begins to spill over that it causes issues. So there should be that balance. And it will not happen overnight. We have to endeavor to, work hard at it. Work is work. Your personal life is your personal life.
Okay, for me, I think I'll speak from a personal experience.
All right.
And there are things I used to do before now. When I work morning till evening, I think at some point in time in my life I was doing remote work. So I was always at home. And remote working doesn't you barely try to differentiate.
It's so
yes,
mixed
because
up.
you are at home, you are in the same place, and you might, if not maybe feeding, and maybe sometimes you have to pray. There are no time that it's okay. You want to leave a particular laptop. It's okay. I want to go, and a lot of times people there are a lot of things that had to do with remote working that a lot of people are not talking about. So it seems that okay, it brings more convenience, but at the same time, it affects your mental health. Yes, because there are times whereby you just don't want to leave because you feel that you've not done enough. Especially maybe you report weekly to the organization. You feel that okay, you've not done enough. Okay, I need to do this, and at the same time, you always glue to the screen. So that way, the only thing that maybe separates you from the screen is maybe the sleep.
Yeah.
So which is not good enough. So one of the things I later realized is how you partition your time. So we have 24 hours in a day. So you can say, okay, the first, maybe normally for you to be a stable person, you need an average of 8 hours, an adult, 8 hours of sleep in a day so that you can actually function well. So that's the first 8 hours. The second 8 hours, you can devote it to work. Then the next remaining 8 hours, so you can say, okay, maybe you have to commit to a particular place, you have to plan, you have to meditate, and you have to do some other stuff. So within that 8 hours, you can also use it for social interaction with the people. So, but you just have to make sure that, okay, this time, from social time to social time, nothing happens. Even if you don't have any, you're living alone, or you are not in a relationship, just think it's just me. I just want to have a conversation with me, myself. So that way you are able to have a free time to think better than just to say, okay, work. A lot of people got frustrated maybe with relationship and all the love they have for their relationship, they pour it into work.
To the work, yeah.
And they are not able to differentiate their life away from work. And some other people on the flip side, contrary to what you said, there are people who are not able to also differentiate their work from their personal life and their family. For example, somebody who has been a boss and he feels that, okay, fine, when I'm at work, everybody is saying, good morning, sir, good morning, sir, good morning, sir. And I get back home and this woman I got married to is calling me by my name and you will now feel like she's not even respectful. So that kind of thing. And it might also be the other way around for the woman also. Yes, so she's married and she's the boss at work and everybody say, good morning, ma, good morning, ma. And she comes back at home and the man is expecting her to be submissive to him. And she feels like, well, what the hell are you talking about? Yes, like that bossy thing, follows her home. And there are people who, on the flip side, their spouse or maybe the person they're in a relationship with have this idealization of, okay, my boss, my husband or my wife is a boss. So that's the mental picture, maybe before relationship or all that. Now they get into marriage and she still expects, and the man comes up, because I read something recently on social media whereby a woman came to complain that, yes, before her husband, before he was working and everything, he is a very smart guy, dresses up cute and everything. Now is back working remotely, and he might just be on a boxer and a shirt from morning till night, that the guy is no more attractive to her, like the way she used to know him. So some spouse have this idea of, my man is handsome, good looking, and he's very serious. So they expect you that even that kind of thing that you show at work and everything, that's what they want you to bring at home. So if you come back at home and say, okay, I'm a normal person and this is me, it's a problem. So for me, what I would say is, number one, look at your situation. Look at what works for you. And in looking at what works for you, you need to now divide the time, like I said. So 8 hours for sleep, 8 hours for work, then the remaining 8 hours for socialization, planning and everything. That way you are able to now have, okay, that this is it. And even if you don't have anything doing, just make sure that you create that time. So that when you get married, you're in a relationship or anything happens, you're able to feel that particular space. Yes. Because a lot of times people have void that they want to feel. And if they don't have a space to feel it, then they devote every other attention to the work. And that's why some of these issues happen. So, but then on a general note, the work-life balance is as important as it is now than ever before. You know, for example,
to make it.
Yes. So social media is a contributing factor. You don't want to be seen like as being unserious. So you always want to show up. You always want to feel that yes, something is happening in my life. So which means that on a real sense of it, it doesn't really make sense. So it's not all about how far you walk. It's not all about what you're doing. It's how you're doing it right. And beyond everything, what is the result that comes out of it at the end of the day?
Like you saying something like finding what works out for you. There's this lady that she works in an office and she works in the same office with her husband. She is the boss. Do you understand? Yes, then the husband, I think, is the third or the fourth in command. So in the office, it's just always like ma, yes ma. But once they get to the house,
is the head. No, but you know,
cleans, she cooks, she does everything.
But you know the funniest part of it is good though.
Yes.
It's good because you know there are a lot of people that don't know how. That's why I said balance. There has to be that clear. You know, some people have balance, but it's blurred. There's that clear partitioning, and the two of them have an understanding that when I get to work, I'm your boss. If I do something in the office that you don't like, shall respect me. When we get home, we fight it out as husband and wife. And the next day, we go to work, I'm still your boss. So there are people that don't have that.
Organization have what we call conflict of interest. So if you have anything that is going to conflict with our interest, please declare it. So if it's something we can handle, okay, you can say we can handle it. And if it's not something we can handle, we say, okay, please, I think since both of you are married, I think one person has to go.
That's why like in most organizations they don't allow people married.
I think there's a law for it.
Then once you're married, they can't have like couples.
One person has to go.
It takes a couple that is really, I don't know how to explain this. The understanding between them is thick. That whether you're the boss, once we get to the house, my sister,
just imagine, okay, you know, she is the boss. It's not even that he is boss. She is the boss in the office.
I mean, it doesn't matter who's the boss.
Once she gets back home, she cleans,
she's the wife.
She cooks, she does everything.
I mean, a clear example is like military. In the military, it happens a lot in the military. You know, some of these military women, some of them, I wouldn't say most, are not married to military men. I know that in the military, when you get to that rank, you've got to. I mean, look, imagine a woman that's a general, and then she's married to, let's say, a lawyer, a civilian. Whether you are a general, a major, your husband is the head of the family. Yes.
Right. It is crucially important to maintain a work-life balance for a healthy and fulfilling life. Personally and professionally, it may be challenging to achieve a perfect balance, but it is essential to set boundaries, prioritize, and make time for both aspects of life. This is where we draw the curtain for today. You already know, talk show where they talk up as EB. Let's do this again, same place, same time. We would love to hear from you, so be a part of our conversation by dropping your opinions in our comment sections, and don't forget to follow all our social media handles displayed on your screen for more exciting and captivating episodes of Viewpoint. Do subscribe and turn on the notification bell on our YouTube channel at Oweleketv. Our website is oweleketv. Till we come your way again.
Bye-bye.
Bye.